Hello everyone, warm welcome to Regulatory Bodies YouTube channel by Testbook. My name is Madhav. I welcome you all in a very important session where we are going to discuss about a very important term, that is windfall tax. I don't know how many of you have checked the news maybe today or maybe day before yesterday. In the news, I have come across with n number of areas where this term windfall tax has been referred. The question is why this tax has been referred in the past 1-2 days. The reason is Government of India is planning to scrap windfall tax, which is applicable on different commodities. So today in this particular session, we will be discussing what actually windfall tax is. After that, I will be discussing why it is in news and what all areas we need to keep in mind. So what all questions I'm going to answer in today's session. So first question which I'm going to answer is, what is windfall tax? After answering the question that what is windfall tax, I'll discuss with you why does government charge windfall tax. After understanding that why government charge windfall tax, then we'll understand who is subject or who is responsible to pay the windfall tax. Then we'll discuss the advantages as well as disadvantages of windfall tax. We'll discuss the impact of windfall tax, and while discussing the impact, obviously I will be discussing the impact with respect to India, which is quite obvious. Then we'll move ahead and we'll discuss that who has to pay windfall tax, and in the end, when did windfall tax was introduced in India, what was the reason, and what is the current scenario of windfall tax in the country. So I hope the agenda of the session is clear. What all things we are going to discuss in today's session is clear. If it is clear, just give me yes sir in the comment section, and just give me yes sir in the comment section that yes, we are ready to go and we are ready to learn about windfall tax. Remember that, guys, in regulatory bodies, especially if I talk about RBI Grade B examination, there are chances that the question can be easily asked. There are chances that the question can be easily asked from areas like windfall tax, and there is a possibility the same area can be asked in the examination, and that too in the descriptive format. Remember that if this topic is asked in the descriptive format, that means it's going to weight around 15 or 10 marks in your examination, which makes it really very important topic. So before we start the discussion, I would request everyone quickly copy the link of this session, share it with your friends so that more and more students, they can join us live, and they should know that yes, this session is live, and they should join us to understand what is windfall tax, why it is in news, and when India is going to scrap windfall tax, as well as why India is thinking of scrapping the windfall tax. All these questions will be answered for sure. Here we go with the first question. Let me answer the very first question to you. And if I start my discussion with the very first question, the first question we have is that is windfall tax. The first question we have is that is windfall tax. Now the question is how you define the word windfall tax. I don't know how many of you are aware, but windfall is a very common term which is basically used at a time of unexpected benefits. Whenever you enjoy unexpected benefits in your day-to-day life, we generally use a word windfall. And in the same context, windfall tax is charged on the businesses when the business earn unexpected profits. In order to distribute the benefit of those profits to the entire economy, government comes up with a term that is windfall tax. So today I have all the important terms in this particular discussion. So I'll start my discussion with the first question, that is what is windfall tax. I'll start in this manner. The concept of windfall tax was introduced in the world. Remember that. Not in India, but this concept was introduced in the world in 1970. Basically, what is windfall tax? So windfall tax is a tax entity which is charged in case of proportionate profits. So whenever there is disproportionate profit, unexpected profit, this tax is charged due to the unusual and unexpected market events. So whenever a company, a seller enjoys unexpected profits due to the due to the n number of usual or unexpected market events, to distribute that disproportionate profit which is enjoyed by some, or I would say very few companies or organizations. So in order to redistribute it to the entire economy, windfall tax is basically charged. Remember that the increase in profit is not attributed to any expansion or investment strategy of a business, but to a favorable external factor for which business is not responsible. Remember that, what I'm trying to say. So this increase in profit, is not because of the expansion which has been done, or not because of any kind of investment which has been done by the business, rather because of some external factors. Because of some external factors, if the companies they earn, if the service providers they earn unexpected profit, then on the unexpected profit, on the unexpected, I would say, returns, the tax is charged, which is known as windfall tax. I'll give you a very simple example on this. Russia-Ukraine conflict, it led to the increase in price of refined crude oil, I mean to say diesel, petrol, all over the globe. During this particular scenario, when there was an instant jump in these prices, diesel, petrol prices, that situation is unexpected, it is unusual, which resulted in unexpected profits, and these profits are enjoyed by few companies, that is petroleum companies. So therefore, windfall tax is charged because of that unusual, unexpected huge profits, so that those profits can be taken up and those profits can be distributed in the entire economy for the purpose of growth. So this is basically termed as what? So this is basically termed as windfall tax. Remember the next point. Windfall tax in a literal sense, as I said, it is in literal sense, the term windfall basically means unexpected or sudden happening that brings good fortune. You might have heard about wind chime, I guess. It is also considered as a symbol of good fortune. So windfall is related to the same. Windfall term is basically related to a situation where you enjoy unexpected, sudden good fortune benefits, that is known as windfall. So hence, sudden boom in the profit of a business without any effort or expense is known as windfall gain. So if you receive excess profit, unexpected profit, and that too without any extra effort done by you in terms of investment, expansion, then it is termed as windfall profit, and on those windfall profit, tax is charged, which is known as windfall tax. Is it clear, everyone? Do reply in the comment section. Is it clear, everyone? Do reply in the comment section, please. Is it clear, everyone? Do reply in the comment section, please. May I have an answer, please? Okay, now let's move on to the next question. The next question says, sir, why does government charge windfall tax? There are a few reasons. The first reason is, first of all, you are enjoying unexpected profit and you have enjoyed that profit without extra effort. So you have not done anything to gain or to earn that profit. So on that unexpected profit, government will charge tax, which will increase government's revenue. And if government revenue is increased, it will help the government to overcome its deficit. It will help the government to implement its schemes, subsidies in a better manner. Subsidy in a better manner. For country like India, where the government deficits are pretty huge, so whenever there is a chance to increase the revenue, it's going to be very beneficial for the economy. Now let's discuss the point. So the main goal of windfall tax is to capture the excessive profits of the company that occurs due to favorable economic condition and distribute them fairly within a society, as we discussed. Second is, it serves as a redistributive tool. I don't know how many of you have heard about Samuelson How many of you have heard about one of the renowned economists, Paul Samuelson? According to him, tax means redistribution of resources. So windfall tax is again an initiative of the government to redistribute the resources, which means due to unexpected scenarios, without doing any effort, if you are earning huge profits, certain profits should be distributed to the one who are needy. That means it should be adding on as a government's revenue, and government will use that revenue to implement better services, better subsidies, better schemes, or the development operations in the economy. Last but not the least is windfall profit tax imposition will make sure business do not take unfair advantage of windfall gain. So if you are getting unexpected profits, we are afraid that you are going to misuse those unexpected profits, which may result in increase in inflation rates, maybe in a specific sector, which may impact the demand of a particular commodity, which may result in many other unexpected scenarios. So in order to avoid that, windfall tax is introduced so that the businesses, they do not use the entire earned amount in a wrong direction, in a wrong manner. The next question I have is, who is subject to windfall tax? Obviously, sir, windfall tax is going to be paid by the companies which are earning huge profits. Remember, in today's world, if you think that windfall tax is generally applied on new companies, or I would say the companies in their initial stages, no. Generally, windfall tax comes in picture specifically for the companies which are existing, from I would say, which are existing in the economy from past decades, and today they are earning unexpected profits in comparison to the sample size of past few decades. Are you getting my point? It's not the case कि पिछले साल कम कमाया, इस साल बहुत ज़्यादा, तो भैया windfall tax लगा दो. No. It is on the basis of the past decades data, which is reviewed, and on the basis of that review, if we witness that there is huge jump in the profit, and that too because of the unexpected efforts, that is due to and that increase is not because of the unexpected efforts or initiatives taken, rather it is because of the market scenario, then windfall tax is charged. Now, who is subject, sir? As we discussed, companies, industries who are earning unexpected profits, they will be responsible to pay this particular tax. Got it? Moving on to the next point. The next question is, what are the advantages of windfall tax? If this question is asked, what is the advantage of windfall tax? So windfall tax is charged on the company, and this tax is basically the receipts which are received by government as a revenue receipt. So it is beneficial to the government. The first benefit we have is increase government revenue, and if government revenue is increasing, government's expenditure, or I would say government's capacity to make expenditure will increase, and if government's expenditure capacity increases, it will result in increase in development of the entire economy. Second is, it ensures sustainable economic growth, because if we are charging taxes on unexpected profits, so those unexpected profits won't be utilized for impacting the overall growth of the economy, and we can achieve the target still under the category of sustainable growth. Next is stabilizes prices, because we are redistributing the resources from few industrialists. Those resources are distributed in the entire economy, so it won't result in concentrated demand, and if the demand is not concentrated, we can expect that the prices are not going to increase much, or the prices are going to remain stable of n number of goods and services. Along with some benefits, we have 5 disadvantages as well. The first disadvantage is it reduces business profit, which is quite obvious. Second is it discourages innovation, which means if I'm doing pretty well today and I come to know that if I do my business in this manner, or if I change the entire market scenario in this manner, it will result in unexpected profits to me. But this unexpected profit to me won't remain to me, because government may charge windfall tax on it, and if government is charging windfall tax, that means government is taking up, or government is eating up my innovation, my benefit. So it may discourage the innovation. Last is it causes market uncertainty, because a sector is booming, it's doing pretty well. Everyone wants to invest in that sector, but suddenly you as a government has introduced windfall tax that may impact the new investors to come, that may impact the new add-ons in the market, that may impact the overall supply of that particular sector, which is going to be harmful in terms of growth and development. Fourth disadvantage is it reduces employment. How come? Please pay attention. How come I say it reduces employment? So windfall tax, it reduces employment because if tax increases, business will take it as increase in cost of production, and if cost of production is increasing, in order to achieve the same level of profit or in order to achieve the same cost price of their goods, they may cut down, they may lay off their labor, they may lay off the labor, which results in unemployment. Obviously, impact is going to be a bit low, but yes, there is a possibility that this situation can occur or this situation may be witnessed during the application of windfall tax. The next point we have is difficulty in calculating excess profit. As we said that windfall tax is charged on the excess profit, but how and in what form we are going to calculate these excess profit so that in a better format taxes can be charged. So this is again one of the important disadvantage, because the calculation of excess profit is quite tough. The calculation of baseline profit or what time should be taken to determine the excess profit to calculate windfall tax is a point of concern. It is a point of concern. Got it, guys? As discussed, okay. Now, let's discuss the impact of windfall tax. But before I discuss the impact for windfall tax, I have one more point. That is, who has to pay windfall tax? This we know. The windfall tax is going to be paid by the companies who are going to earn profit. But the question is how the calculation is done. If I talk about the calculation, how windfall tax is calculated, this is an important part which we need to discuss. So windfall tax is calculated how? To calculate windfall tax, government calculates the excess profit, but calculating the excess profit is a quite tough task. So the calculation of the excessive profit, they can vary according to the specific legislation or policy in effect. However, windfall tax are usually calculated using a baseline profit level. So they set a baseline profit level, that this is the baseline profit. If you are earning above this profit, let's say baseline is 10%, you are earning 20%, so that excess 10% will be charged under windfall tax. So remember that the government may consider industry's average profit level over the past few years as a baseline. As I mentioned, decades of data is reviewed, and once the baseline profit is determined, fixed, it is subtracted from the actual profit. And on the excess profit, certain percentage of tax is charged, which is known as windfall tax. I'll give you an example on this. Let's suppose the average baseline profit for a company is 10%, and the company is earning today 20%. So 10% is the average profit, it's fine. This is the excess 10% which is unexpected, and this excess 10% which is unexpected is 10,000 crore rupees. So this is known as what? So this will be termed as excess profit. Now on this excess profit, let's say windfall tax is 10%. I'm just taking an example. So 10% will be charged on 10,000 crore, which becomes 1,000 crore. So 1,000 crore extra tax will be charged if you are witnessing excess profit of 10,000 crores, and this type of tax is known as what? So it is known as windfall taxation. Got it, guys? Now coming back to the point. So we have discussed about windfall tax, its disadvantages. Now if I talk about the impact, obviously I'll talk about impact of windfall tax with respect to our own nation, that is India. So I'll start my discussion in this manner, that Russia-Ukraine war has resulted in crude oil prices to shoot up. As a result, Indian oil companies, they have recorded highest ever gain during the financial year 2021-22. So this extraordinary profit which was gained by ONGC Oil India and Gas Authority of India Limited and many other companies was taken into account by the government. And then finally, government decided to charge tax on it. So government imposed windfall tax rate on oil producers, only on oil producers, to cover India's trade deficit. So what is trade deficit? As we know, in India, exports are less in comparison to imports. So we are importing more in comparison to export. That means incoming foreign currency is less than outgoing foreign currency, and this gap is known as what? So this gap is basically known as trade deficit. So in order to overcome this, extra tax is charged on the exporters, and the tax revenue which was collected through windfall tax was added under the incoming wala side, so that this gap can be reduced and trade deficit can be reduced. So this tax was proposed in July 2022 and it came into effect on 1st September 2022. So if someone asks you in India, windfall tax was implemented on which date? Sir, it was implemented on 1st September 2022, but in the world it was introduced back in 1970. So further, the government raised excise duty. So along with windfall tax, government has also increased the excise duty on diesel exports from 6 rupees to 12 rupees per litre. Additionally, they increase export taxes on gasoline and diesel by 6 per litre and 13 per litre respectively in order to avoid increase in export of these goods, which will result in deficiency of crude oil, deficiency of diesel and aviation turbine fuel in India. That was the reason. So due to decline oil prices on the global market by mid-July, this tax was again reduced and then again revised. So in next year, in 2023, when the prices came back almost to the normal, so government has also reduced and revised its windfall tax. Who has to pay it? We have discussed that. Next point is, when did India introduce? We have just discussed India introduced windfall tax on 1st July 2022, but India implemented it. From 1st of September 2022. So initially, diesel was subjected to 13 rupees per litre surcharge in addition to 6 rupees per litre added to gasoline and aviation turbine fuel. Additional export limitations were also put in place. So not only the taxes, but along with that, there were certain conditions related to your export limitations, because government was not in a position to witness shortage of these goods in the country itself, in India itself. So before that, oil companies, they prefer to sell their products abroad, but because of this increase in taxes, because of increase in or decrease in export limits, the companies, they were trying to sell the same goods or the same product in the country itself. So after 1st July, the refineries received incentives to the market to market their products to domestic oil marketing companies for bulk or retail sales. So even in order to attract our refineries to sell their goods in India itself, incentives were also announced by the government. When did India introduce? So we have discussed the entire part. The next point we have is, why are the countries charging these taxes? We have already discussed. Countries are charging these taxes in order to fight against the probability that if crude oil prices or diesel prices or aviation turbine fuel prices are increasing in the international market, then our own companies, they will be preferring exporting those goods rather than selling it in the country itself. So in that particular situation, it will result in shortage in the nation, and in order to avoid this situation of shortage, tax, that is windfall tax, is going to play a positive role. It's going to play a positive role. Second is, UN Secretary General has also encouraged the nations to impose windfall taxes on the companies that are benefited from the rise in price of fossil fuel. As a result, many countries like India, along with US, Germany, they have introduced windfall tax. They have introduced what? So they have introduced windfall tax. So if I conclude my discussion, if I say what is windfall tax, I hope that is clear to you. When India introduced windfall tax, that is clear. Why India introduced windfall tax, that is also clear. Why governments introduce windfall tax, I hope all these areas are crystal clear to you. Now guys, you wait for a while. Let's discuss the current news, which is in news these days. So this is the link which I want to share with you. This is Business Standard. Finance Ministry waits removing windfall tax, and that is because of falling crude oil prices. So what is this entire news all about, guys? Please pay attention. If I discuss this news with you, I'll just zoom it so that you can see the entire news in a better manner. I hope the screen is clear. So the Finance Ministry has come up with a statement that we are going to review the windfall tax, which is charged on export of petrol, diesel, as well as aviation turbine fuel, as the global oil prices, they are now in a stable situation. So phenomenal profit made earlier, they were subjected to a tax, and that tax was known as windfall tax, but now government is planning to remove it. So the tax is charged in the form of special additional excise duty, and it is notified, revised on by weekly basis, or we can say that it is revised after 2 weeks. It is revised after 2 weeks. So government has also given a statement. Government that government in September already slashed the windfall tax on domestically produced crude oil to nil per ton, but now we are thinking of, or the government is thinking of, entirely removing it. And this tax is currently charged as a special additional excise duty on the petroleum which is produced in India. Now, if we talk about the last revision, so the last revision of windfall tax was done on 31st of August, when the windfall tax on crude oil was set 1850 rupees per ton, special additional excise duty, as you see, special additional excise duty. So special additional excise duty on diesel, petrol and jet fuel has been retained at nil from 18th of September, and now finally government is thinking of removing the term windfall tax. So remember that this is the entire news. What is windfall tax? I guess that is clear to you for sure. Along with that, why government has introduced windfall tax, that point is also clear to you. And what is going to be the benefit of removing windfall tax, that is also clear to you. If you have any doubt related to this particular topic, you may ask, please. Along with that, I would request you to download Testbook Supercoaching application, which will help you in your day-to-day preparation, and you will be in a position to clear your examination in the very first attempt. Now, I have a homework for you, and my homework is, one, we have windfall tax, which we just discussed. There is one more tax, which is known as angel tax. So my first question is, what is angel tax? Reply me in the comment section. Second is, I have used a word surcharge while discussing this particular news, and I have even used the word cess. I haven't explained these two terms, but I want to know whether you are aware of these two terms, or you want me to explain angel tax as well as surcharge and cess in my next session. So thank you so much for watching this session, guys. I will be expecting you all to join my upcoming sessions to go. Don't forget to subscribe this channel, hit the bell icon, as well as do not forget to like the session before leaving. Thank you so much. Good luck. God bless you all. Thank you, guys. Hello Harshita, how are you? Long time. I hope the topic which we just discussed is crystal clear. If you have any doubt, you may ask, please, Harshita. So thank you so much, guys. We'll be catching you all in the upcoming sessions to go. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye.